Welcome back to the session of quantitative analysis, where we'll be discussing few more questions that appeared in the 2017 and 19 PGCET Karnataka MBA. So let me take up the question. So the first question says the average number of printing errors per page in a book of 512 pages is 4. If the total number of printing errors in the first 302 pages is 1208, the average number of printing errors per page in the remaining pages is. So we need to calculate the average in the remaining pages. As we know that if you want to find the total errors, it will be always number of pages into the average. So if I take total errors, so I will call it as total errors. So if you want to find the total errors, it will be 512 into 4. So 512 into 4 will be 5 4s are 2000, 500 into 4 is 2000 plus 12 4s are 48. So it will be 2048 errors are there. And out of this, what they are telling, the first 302 pages is 1208. So in the first 302 pages, the total number of errors are 1208. So what we need to do is subtract the 1208 errors from this errors. So we'll get the remaining errors, and that you need to divide it among the remaining pages. So out of 512, 302 pages are already done. So you need to subtract this errors 1208. So if you subtract this will be 0, 4, and this will be 8, and this will be 0. So total number of remaining errors, this I can call it as the remaining errors. So these remaining errors you need to distribute in the remaining pages. So out of 512, if you subtract this remaining pages, how much you are going to get? So this will be 0, 1, this will be 2. So what the meaning here is, now you need to distribute the remaining 840 pages, the remaining 840 errors with respect to 210. So just divide this with the number of pages 210. So 0 0 get cancelled, 21 1s are 21 4s are. So you will get the average as 4. So again the average is going to remain same. So the answer for this question is option B, that is 4. So this is the answer. So these are the questions that will come with respect to the averages, where you will get the average of some pages or say average of few students scoring in the class. So you need to take the total number of errors and subtract this, and you will get the number of remaining errors. These are the errors remaining, and these are the pages that are remaining. So the thing is, you need to distribute this remaining errors with respect to the number of remaining pages. So if you just divide it by this number, you will get the average of the errors that will come in the remaining pages. That is, remaining pages are 210. So the average for that will be 4. So the option for this answer is option B. Answer for this question is option B. The average of, again this is also related with the average of ABCBM and AB plus BC equal to minus A, then the average of A square, B square, C square. So these are some of the questions that you will get from the basic formulas that you already know. So what they are given is the average of ABC. So the average of ABC is M, means I can directly write it as A plus B plus C divided by 3 is equal to M. Why I am dividing it by 3? Because 3 variables are there, ABC. So the average of this will be A plus B plus C divided by 3 is equal to M. If I just transfer this to here, so it will be A plus B plus C is equal to 3M. So now what they are asking is, they have also given one more information, AB plus BC is equal to minus CA, or if you write this, the given information AB plus BC, if you just transfer it, it will be AB plus BC plus CA is equal to 0. A plus B plus C the whole square, if I substitute this value, what it will become? I know that A plus B plus C is M, or this is equal to 3M. So if I write like this will be 3M the whole square. So this will be nothing but 9M square. Okay, so I can write that A plus B plus C the whole square is equal to 9M square. And I know that this is the basic formula. We know that A plus B plus C the whole square. Just try to expand this. So what this will be? This will be A square plus B square plus C square plus 2A plus 2B plus 2C. Okay, so now if you take this A square plus B square plus C square plus, if you take, sorry, this is 2AB plus 2BC plus 2CA. So if you take 2 as common, it will be AB plus BC plus CA. And what this will be, because we know that AB plus BC plus CA is equal to 0. So if you take 0 here, 2 into 0 will be 0. So this will be only A square plus B square plus C square. So I know that I have expanded this LHS a plus b plus c the whole square as I have arrived at this. So and this is equal to what? 9m square. So what they have asked the average of a square, b square and c square. So this is a square plus b square plus c square, and we know that average we can get it by dividing it by 3, because again there are 3 variables. So if I divide it by 3, or for this answer if I divide it by 3, 9m square divided by 3, this will be equal to 3m square. So this will be the average of a square, b square and c square. So some of the question you will get directly where they will be asked like what is the average of a square and b square when they give 2 numbers, or they may give 4 numbers. So try to remember these basic formulas that we can directly apply and you can get at the answer. So answer for this question is 3m square. So this is the answer, that is B. So initially they have given this a plus b plus c divided by 3, so it will be m. So if you just take this, it will be 3m. So we can get this form by using this formula, a plus b plus c the whole square is this, and if you take 2 as common, it will be ab plus bc plus ca. Because they have given this information as 0, you can substitute the value in 0, this will be reduced to a square, b square and c square. Because we want the average, I am dividing it by 3. So this is nothing but we can say that a square plus b square plus c square divided by 3, which is equal to 3m square, because this is what we call it as the average. Average is nothing but total number of variables divided in the number of addition of all the variables divided by total number of variables. So total number of variables are 3 here, so I can get the answer as 3m square. In the next question, two numbers are such that whose sum and difference is 11 and 7 respectively, then the difference between their respective cubes. So this is basically from the algebraic part. So what we need to find the equation. You can find the right in terms of equation. So I can take two numbers as x and y. So x plus y is equal to 11 and x minus y is equal to 7. So just simplify this. If you subtract these two equations, equation 1 and 2, so you will get 2x, this y get cancels, 2x is equal to 18. So x is equal to 9. So this is the value of x. Now try to substitute the value of 9 in any one of the equation, you will get the value of y. So I can take it as x plus y is equal to 11. Because I am explaining, I am taking little time, otherwise you can directly do it. So y is equal to 11 minus x. If you shift this x, so what you will get? 11 minus x, you will get y is equal to 2. Now after getting the values of x and y, what you have to do is you need to find their cubes and then you need to take the difference. So 9 cube you need to find. So 9 square is 81. Okay, 81 into 9, so this will be 9 ones are 9, 9 8s are 72, and minus 2 cube. 2 cube is 8. So the difference if you take, it will be 721. Very simple question. Just you need to take two equations and get the values of x and y and arrive at the answer. So answer for this question is option A, that is 721. Or they may also give the questions like they may try to find the square. I mean they may ask with respect to square or fourth power like this. So just take the two equations, get the values of x and y, take their squares or cubes, whatever they ask, and get the result. Or they may also ask the sum. In this case they will ask the difference. Sometimes they may also ask the sum of these two numbers. A car driver completes 180 km trip in 4 hours. If he averages 50 km per hour during the first 3 hours of trip, what is the speed in the final hour? So this is basically based on the we need to this is with respect to speed and time. Okay, so what they are asking is a car driver completes 180 km trip in 4 hours. Okay, if he averages 50 km hour during the first 3 hours, so if you just multiply 50 into 3, you will get it as 150. So total distance he is covering is 180 km in 4 hours. So in 3 hours he has covered 150. How much is remaining is 30. So during 1 hour, so in 1 hour distance he has to cover is how much? He has to cover a distance of 30 kilometers. So directly you can say that this is speed will be 30 kilometers per hour. Because he has to cover 180 in the initial 3 hours he has covered 150 kilometers totally. He has to complete remaining 30 kilometers and the time remaining is 1 hour. So directly you can do it. Okay, since it is very straightforward they are given, you can directly calculate it. Otherwise also there are different ways in solving such problems. Orally also you can solve it. A car driver completes 180 kilometers trip in 4 hours. So if you try to take the average of 180 by 4, you will get it as 45 kilometers per hour. Okay, if he covers this in 4 hours, his average will be 45. Now, if he averages 50 kilometers hour during the first 3 hours, so in the first 3 hours, if you consider it as 50 kilometers, how much he is covering? He is covering, actually he has to cover 45 kilometers per hour. With the normal rate, if he goes, he will cover 45 kilometers per hour. But in this initial 3 hours, how much he is going? 50 kilometers per hour he is going. So what he has done, actually if you take first 3 hours, 45 into 3. So this will be 135. He has to cover, actually if he goes with the speed of 45, he has to cover 135. But he is going with what? He is going with 50. So how much he has covered? He has covered 150. Okay. So how much extra it is? How much extra it is 15 extra. So his actual average is 45 if he goes with the speed of 45 kilometers hour. But he has got 15 extra. So try to subtract 45 minus 15. So what you will get? You will get 30 as the answer. So like this you can find whenever there are questions which are like this, you can do it orally, you can avoid these steps. So the answer for this question is option D, that is 30 kilometers per hour. Question is, the area of a rectangular field is 144 meters square. If its length is increased by 5 meters, its area is increased by 40 meters square. The length of the field is. So let me explain this first so that you can understand this question first. So this is the rectangular area, and what they are given, the area of the rectangular field is 144 meters square. Okay. If its length is increased by 5 meters, so this if you consider it as length, this entire part you can consider it as length, and what they are doing, they are increasing the length by 5 meters. So if I just increase this length, just take 5 meters, so what is increased? The area also obviously increases. And how much it increases? It increases by 40 meters square. So what they are asking is, they are asking the length. So they are increasing only the length, so but the breadth is remaining same. This is very much important. So they are just increase the length, but the breadth is same. So what you have to do is, you need to form the equations first. So area of the rectangle, we already know that area of the rectangle is L into B. We can consider the original length and breadth as L and B, and the new length. So this is given as what? 144. This is given as 144. And what about the new area? So the new area, you can say A new. So this can be AO. Original area, this is the new area. So in this new area, what they have done, they have increased the length by 5 meters. So it will be L plus 5 into B is equal to, its area increased by 40. If it was just original, it will be 144. So this will be 144 plus 40. So this will be 4, 8 and 1. So 184 meters square. So now we know two equations, we can find it directly. So what we can do is, we can say that L into B, okay, L into B is equal to 144, and L plus 5 into B is equal to 184. From these two equations, what you can write is, this is L into B is equal to 144 and this is L plus 5 into B is equal to 184. You can try to substitute for B, so it will be B is equal to 144 divided by L, okay, and here B is equal to 184 divided by L plus 5. So this you can call it as equation 1 and this you can call it as equation 2. Now from these two equations you can solve it for L. So this will be 144 divided by L is equal to 184 divided by L plus 5. So now solve for L. What you can get? 144L plus 720. So 144 into 5 will be 720. So this is equal to 184L. So now solve for L, shift this side, what you will get? 720 is equal to 184 minus 144. So this will be 0, this will be 4 and 40L. So now if you subtract them, if you cancel 0, 4 ones are 4 18s are. So the length will be equal to 18. So this is the answer. So the answer for this question is option B, that is 18. So in similar kind of problem, they may also give that breadth is increased, how to calculate L. So in such situation, you need to formulate it for the length and try to substitute the values, these two equations, and you can get the value for the breadth. So similar kind of question can be asked with respect to area of a square or area of a triangle and so on. So what you have to do is you have to remember all the formulas with respect to all the different objects like square, rectangle, okay, triangle and so on, cone. All these you need to remember. So the answer for this question is 18 meter, that is length. A two-digit number is such that the product of the digits is 8. When 18 is added to the number, then the digits are reversed, the number is. So whenever you get such questions, directly take the concept of elimination. So try to get the answer by using the method of elimination. Elimination in the sense what? There will be 4 options given. Try to take any one of the options randomly and try to check with the answer. So option if you take 1 into 8 is 8. So if you add 18 to this, you will get 26. But the numbers are not reversed, so this is not the correct option. Take the second option 24. So if you multiply this 2 into 4, you will get 8. When 18 is added to this, that is if you add 24 to this, what you will get? So 24 plus 18, you are going to get it as 42. So if you take the number 24 and if you reverse it, what you will get? 42. And if you multiply these two numbers 2 into 4, it is 8. And if you add 18 to the given number, that is 24, you are going to get it as 42 when 18 is added to this. So this satisfies the given condition. Directly we can say that option B is the right answer. If you want to try it, suppose if you say option B is in the option D position and option D is in the option B's position, you can do it randomly, you can easily get it. For example, if you take the third option 42, 4 into 2 is how much? 8. 8 plus 42 plus 18, so it will be more than that, it will be 60, so you will not get the correct answer. Similarly with 81, in this also you will not get the correct answer. So whenever you get such questions, try to go with the concept of elimination method. You can get the answer very quickly. With just 30 seconds you can get the answer. So for answer for this question is option B, that is 24. 24 is the correct answer. The next question, the height and the radius of the base of a cone each are increased by 100%. The volume of the cone then increased by. So this is purely from the shapes and figures from this part. So what you have to do is you need to know the formula of this cone. So I will explain this first, what actually is happening in this case. So if you consider this as a cone, this will be the center point and this will be the radius and this will be the height. Radius and height. What they are telling is the radius of the base of a cone each are increased. So the height as well as the radius. So if you increase this by 100%. So if R is 100%, if you increase it by 100%, this will become R plus R. So this will become 2R. And height will also become H plus H, it will become 2H. Because it is increased by 100%. So now what you have to do is you need to take the formula to find the volume of the cone. So volume of the cone can be found out by the formula 1 by 3 pi r square h. So this is the formula what we know. So this is the actual formula, but what is our r? Our r is 2r. So if we substitute this value 1 by 3 into pi, r is 2r, 2r the whole square into h. So h is 2h. So if you solve this now, 1 by 3 into pi, 2r square is 4r square into 2h. So if you take 4 and 4 into 2 is 8, if you take 8 outside, what remains is 1 by 3 into pi r square h, which is the actual formula to find the volume of a cone. So this is 8. So how much times it is increased? It is increased by 8 times. So the answer for this question is option A, that is 8 times. So in such situation, what you have to do is you have to just remember the formula for all the shapes, for the volume of the cone, I mean the radius of this, everything you should know, or you need to remember all other things, the area and other things. So you can easily substitute the values in the formula, you can get the answer very quickly. So the radius is r and the distance and the height is h. So if it is increased by 100%, in some cases they may give it is increased by 200%. So what you have to do is you have to substitute the respective values in the given formula, you can easily get the result. How many 5 digits numbers can be formed with the digits 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3 so that the even digits always occupy the even place? So this is again with respect to permutation and combinations. So how many 5 digits number? You need to form the 5 digits numbers with the given respective digits. So we'll write the digits first. How many digits they are given? They are given 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3. So they are given these digits so that the even digits always occupy the even places. you need to form a number or which consists of 5 digits. So 5 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what they are telling is the even places should always occupy even numbers. So if I write this with this, odd, even, and odd. So if you want to make a 5-digit number, this will be the rule. The instruction that they are giving is even places should always occupy the even places. Now we need to find the number of base. How we can find the number of base? So I can write this as in 2 even places, because there are 2 even places. In 2 even places, how many even numbers are there? If you take in this, how many even digits are there? This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So 3 even numbers they are given. So in 2 even places, 3 even digits can be placed in 3 factorial base. Divided by 2 factorial base. Why I am dividing it by 2? Because in this 4, 6, 2. So these all digits 4, 6, 4. Since 4 is repeated, I need to divide it by 2 factorial. If for example, if the even numbers are say 4, 6 and 8, then no need to divide it by like this. Directly you can write it as 3 factorial base. So if you take this 3 factorial divided by 2 factorial, this will be 3 into 2 factorial divided by 2 factorial. So 2 get cancelled, this will be 3 base. Now similarly, you need to find the base in which how can fit the odd numbers. So now the remaining odd places are 3. So in 3 odd places, in 3 remaining odd places, how many odd digits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 odd digits can be placed in, okay, you need to find it for this. How many odd digits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be 4 factorial divided by, now again in this digits if you take, 3 is repeated twice, 3 is repeated once and 5 is also repeated once. So this will be 4 factorial into 2 factorial into 2 factorial. So if you solve this, 4 into 3 into 2 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 2 factorial. So this get cancels, 2 ones are 2 twos are. So 3 into 2 is 6 base. So now take this. Now we can get final answer as, to get the final answer just multiply these two. So it can be 3 into 6. So this will be 18 base. Because we need to form a number consisting of 5 digits, what you can do is you can try to understand the question and try to according to the instruction place this even numbers. Since the even numbers out of these given 3 even digits, 1 is repeated, so it will be divided by 2 factorial. And again in the remaining 4 odd digits, 2 odd digits are repeated, so it will be 4 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 2 factorial. So if you solve this, it will be 6. So total number of ways, the answer will be 18 ways. So the option for this, the answer for this question is option B, that is 18. If 2 raised to 9 plus 2 raised to 9 plus 2 raised to 9 plus 2 raised to 8 is simplified, we get. So these are the very simple questions. You no need to solve, no need to find 2 raised to 9 is how much, because they are not asking the total sum, they are asking it in the simplified form. So if you take this 2 raised to 9 plus 2 raised to 9 plus 2 raised to 9 plus 2 raised to 9. So if you take 2 raised to 9 common, it is very simple. 2 raised to 9 if you take common, so this will be 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So this if you take, it will be 2 raised to 9 into, this will be 4. Now try to write 4 in terms of 2 raised to 2 form. So what you will get, you can get it as 2 raised to 9 dot 2 raised to 2. So 2 raised to 2 is 4. And we also know that the rule of indices of the formula a raised to m dot a raised to n. When the bases are same, you can add the exponent. So this will be a raised to m plus n. So this will be equal to 2 raised to 9 dot 2 raised to 2. So this will be 2 raised to 9 plus 2. You can get the answer as 2 raised to 11. So this is how very simple it is. Most of the students, what they will do is they try to add all the exponents, that is 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9, 2 raised to 36. We should not do like that. So what you have to do is 2 raised to 9 take common, and the remaining will be 4. So this will be 2 raised to 2, and if you use this formula, you can easily get that as 2 raised to 9 plus 2, and this will be reduced to 2 raised to 11. So the answer for this question is option D, that is 2 raised to 11. The next question, the difference between two numbers is 642. When the greater number is divided by the smaller quotient is 8 and remainder is 19, find the greater number. So you try to read this properly. The difference between two numbers is 642. When the greater number is divided by smaller. So you need to read like this. Don't consider smaller quotient is. When the greater number is divided by smaller. Quotient is 8 and remainder is 19. Find the greater number. So the difference between two numbers, if I take x and y, x minus y is equal to 642. Y I can take 6 and y. So in this case, x will be always positive because 642 we are getting the difference in terms of plus is the magnitude here. So x we can take it as the greater number. So x minus y is 642, or you can write it as x is equal to 642 plus y. And also they are given that quotient is 8 and remainder is 19. So I can write it as dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So I can write like this. So if you take this, dividend is x and this will be divisor is equal to y. So this will be into q. Substitute the value of q, it will be 8 and the remainder is 19. Okay. Now we have got two equations for this. Substitute the value of x in this. So x we know that 642 plus y. So you can substitute this value. It will be 642 plus y is equal to 8y plus 19. So now if you solve this, you can shift this to this side. So this will be 8y plus 19. So now if you shift this, 642 minus 19 is equal to 8y minus y. So you get this as 7y, and this will be 642 minus 20. So it will be 622 plus 1, 623. 623 divided by 7 if you take. So this is 8 and then 6 remains. So this will be y. So the value of y is equal to 89. So this is the answer. Find the greater number. So we got the value of y as 89, sorry. So what we need to find is, you need to find the greater number. So to find the greater number, substitute the value of y in any one of these equation. So if you substitute the value of y in this, so what you will get it as x is equal to 642 plus 89. 642 plus 89 if you take, this will be 1, this will be 7. The answer will be 731. So answer for this question will be 731.